Hi, my name is Sandy Steele, James Alexander Drummond Steele. We're in front of the Magistrates Court, Cheltenham Magistrates Court today, 28th of July 2015. I have been summoned here unlawfully because I've been withholding council tax, because I have evidence and I have a video which I'll show you, video link, that the party politicians are comprehensively cartel frauding our elections, and there's a relativity, proportionality in common law with regard to taxation and representation. If your representatives are illegal, obviously, and you know that, or unlawful, criminal, therefore you shouldn't pay tax to them. And I know, and I've got the evidence. So we're going to go into court and we're going to try and deliver, if they resist and try and deny us common law jury trial, we were going to deliver notice of treason and harassment under sections 39 and 40 of Magna Carta 1215, sections attached, also under both previous and subsequent common law precedents. Also notice of both requirements and charges thereto. So this is what we're going to deliver to them, attempt to deliver to the magistrates, give them notice and anyone who supports them. Would you like to take a look at that up close? And the next page. Can you get the whole page in shot? And the next page. This actually has the sections on Magna Carta and also the people we have, well, this page as well. This is the details if you want to do the same, and it has my email link, 9 minutes, which is called Systemic Fraud in All Elections Selections. It's up on YouTube, put up there by Mark Salon, not my title, but it explains in 9 minutes how they fraud the UK's elections, and I have public documentary evidence that the mainstream National Party politicians do cartel fraud our elections. And now for the third page. This is the third page, and on here is Magna Carta section 39 and 40, showing that we have a right to jury trial without charge or delay. And that's it, folks. I hope you'll see us within delivering notices to these people if they do not behave lawfully.
Right. Okay. Wish us luck.
But take that camera.
Can I take your names, please?
Don't do that here, please.
Why?
Don't assault them.
I don't want to know. Stop recording, Mr. Man. I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Can you refrain from taking photos in the court building?
Sorry, it's my lawful right to film.
No,
can I have a please?
Yes, it is.
We've been told, sir, by the courts not to take photos or use your photos.
Can I have some police officers around? In the Cheltenham Magistrates Court, Georges Street. Well, the court security staff have assaulted us. And they've been trying to remove our cameras.
Come to arrest us.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Yeah, they just arrived.
Just confirm which, presumably a gentleman on camera?
Yeah.
Our assault, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you acting under your oath?
We're police constables, yes.
Yeah, are you acting under your
Yes.
oath?
Are you aware that we're not allowed to use video recording or cameras
That's
in the
statutory
court?
instrument. That statutory instrument. It's not. It's lawful because no jury has ever condemned recording in a public place, ever. And this is a public place. And that's, as you know, the common law. Common law.
Our lawful
I
right.
know that it's not lawful to record
It is lawful.
video.
It is lawful. No, the law is jury trial common law jurisdiction, as you no doubt know. The law in this land is jury trial common law
As the
jurisdiction.
court have explained to you, and as we're explaining to you now, you're not allowed to use that equipment in the courtroom.
We are allowed to. We are allowed to. It's lawful to do.
Can I ask what you are here today for?
Summons for withholding council tax.
Right, and has that been dealt with now?
No, it hasn't been dealt with yet. But it's systemic fraud in all elections selections up on YouTube.
Right.
And in that, in 9-minute video, I explain how the party politicians have, for decades, been comprehensively cartel frauding our elections. They operate.
A separate incident.
And I have laid that complaint with Gloucestershire Police, and I have never had a crime complaint receipt even.
Okay, sir, we digress. The fact that
Well, that's
mobile
why I'm
phones
here,
are allowed
because
in the court,
there's
and that's why we've
proportionality.
been court. I know there's proportionality.
And the other thing,
Okay.
sir, the other thing, please, officer, is that what they do is they don't allow their own staff to record these cases, and they don't allow us to record these cases. These are public places, and that
like
is
secret trial.
They
I
then.
appreciate that. Can I draw your attention to this notice
Yeah.
which is displayed throughout the court,
It's a-
stating that it's an offence to take any photographs or moving images of court
It's not a
proceedings.
crime. It's
It's an offence.
It's
sir.
not an
It says
offence.
it there.
It might not be
It's
crime
not.
recordable, but it's an offence.
It's not. It's not a crime, and it's not unlawful. What I have been exposing for 5 years is that the party politicians, we think we know all about them. I know a lot more about them, and I've got public documentary evidence.
So, sir.
I've got well, it's proportionality in court. If I went in and obeyed their statutes, they literally wouldn't. Firstly, I wouldn't be allowed to record my own case, which is ridiculous, and they won't record it, and they will suppress me producing the proportionate testimony showing that the councils, my local council, the Polton Parish Council, the Cotswold District Council, the Gloucestershire County Council, UK Con, EU Con, are criminal constructs. And I have got the public documentary evidence.
Let me just explain.
And
to
I'm
you.
being ignored.
You've spoken
So I'm
to
not
me.
being.
I've not ignored you. I've listened to you.
No, I know. I'm saying generic.
And I'm
generic.
trying to deal with this incident.
You're
proportionate
paying
way.
more attention to me than.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for this
I've had
time and
5 years.
consideration, by the way.
The bottom line is you're not going to be allowed to use your mobile data devices in the courtroom, okay? You're quite well within your rights, I believe, to make notes on pieces of paper if you wish. Have you got a brief solicitor involved in the case?
Just checking with the clerk of the court, Sarge, in relation to.
Okay. We're going to speak with the magistrates and see now how they wish your case to proceed.
They're going to get them in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening to us and
Yeah,
for
thanks
turning
for
up. We are
listening to
actually on your side. We're
our
trying to
complaint.
expose criminal
Our
behaviour.
common law complaint
Yeah.
of assault, occasioning actual bodily harm. So far, we've had 3 of them on us already,
Yeah.
which is
Hands all over us, ripping,
Yeah.
which is unnecessary.
And as I
We've
say-
not been aggressive in any way, shape or form.
So let me just explain to you. I've just been informed by the clerk of the court under section 11 of the Courts Act, you would be held in contempt of court, which is an imprisonable offence if you're held in contempt of court for using recording devices in court, specifically when you've been told not to. We've told you not to. So no, listen
I'm
to me.
making a
Listen
point of
to me.
law. I'm making a point of law with you.
People have been sent to prison for being held in contempt of court, okay? So if you were to continue with that behaviour, alright, they can hold you in contempt of court and then you can be sent to prison, depending on obviously what they decide to do. So I'm just telling you what the law says.
No, you're not telling me what the law says, because statutes and acts are instruments. They are not the law. The law of the land is a jury.
That's an
If a jury,
conception of
if a
the law
jury,
of the
if a
land.
jury would not, a jury would not condemn us for recording our own case.
Juries have done so.
No, they haven't.
That's what I've just been
No,
told.
they haven't.
I can only tell you what
They
I've been
haven't
told.
done. And what's more, if they discovered that in fact magistrates' courts actually suppress their own staff even to record it, so this isn't a court of record, this is not a common law court. That's not a common law court. That is a court to just simply make profit and exploit out of us. It's not a common law court, because every common law court is a court of record.
It's a magistrate's
They are,
court and it's an overlap.
yeah, but that's an entry gate
Here
fraud.
in your case today, you've got to abide by the rules, whether you like them
No,
or not. But mobile data.
I don't have to
devices
abide by
aren't.
rules.
Well, otherwise
I only
then-
have to abide by the law.
Okay, but then
and
we will
you're
have to deal
sworn
with
to
that
uphold the law, and I'm explaining the law.
Absolutely. Okay, but you can be arrested for using your mobile data device in there for contempt of court.
That is, it's not a lawful arrest.
Let
That's
me
an
just,
unlawful
it
arrest.
wouldn't be. Let me just explain to you. I've given you verbal words of advice now not to use that device.
And I've given you verbal
Should you be
words of
allowed to
advice.
go into that courtroom again? I'll give you my collar number and my name.
Well, we
Should you wish to communicate with the force further, okay, it's PC 2265 Ryan Thomas.
You understand I'm making a difference between bench justice statutory jurisdiction and jury trial common law jurisdiction. There are two jurisdictions, and it's in fact common law jury trial common law jurisdiction, which is the law of the land, and that's actually the one that you're sworn to uphold. That's the law of the land.
Well, we're supposed to be policed
Whereas-
and by consent, and we don't give our consent to unlawful criminal behaviour, which is what the council tax presently is. So it's the law of proportionality. Again, he's not willing to participate in criminal enterprise, and we have mountains of evidence that we would like reviewed by yourselves and by the courts.
The local rural elections, they operate, as I say, undeclared parties. The candidates are told not to declare their parties. They're told not to declare any policies. They then actually don't have any public primaries. They don't have any public... Now that is misrepresentation in order to benefit, and that is fraud.
But I can assure you, should any further mobile data devices, cameras be used to video or record information inside the courtroom, you will be arrested, okay? You're in
And
the
then-
magistrate's court for a court hearing, and it's quite clear, sir, there are letters and notices around the court, one right behind your head, in fact,
Oh, yes.
saying no mobile phones.
Yes, we're aware of that, but
So
we're
you
aware
have
that
to
that isn't
obey by
against the
that
law.
rule.
No, because we only have to obey the law. And the law of the land is anything
Well,
that is
we're
condemned by a
This is
jury.
unlawful
We're never going
court.
to agree then. I've explained to you
Yeah.
as clearly as I can, luckily it's recorded onto the device there,
Yeah.
that you're not to use those devices in the courtroom. We've already been called here once, okay, and it's been
I
explained.
called you. It was me who called you.
Right.
Yeah, we called you.
Because of
Staff
the
have
assault.
explained, okay?
It was I who called
Well,
you.
this is our discretion now, okay? We've given you the verbal warning, okay? The next time, unfortunately, we can't keep coming back to people that won't listen to us. It would result in being liable to be arrested.
If, let's say you go back into court, I think what the plan is for yourself to go into the courtroom so that whatever that you're actually here for initially can be dealt with. That's fine, we've got no issue with that. So obviously the courts are here to sort out problems, aren't they? But
Well,
let
in
me
this
just
case,
finish
actually
that.
not.
Let me just finish. If you are to go into
it's not a
court,
lawful court.
and if you were to therefore use a recording device in court, the court will deal with you there and then. They will find you in contempt of court. We won't be arresting you, so you won't be coming down to the cells with us. The court will deal with you because it's a court offence. They will deal with you here and then.
And what does
right?
that mean exactly? What can
Well,
they do?
the court will find you in contempt of court under Section 11, which I've already explained to you. And then the court, I don't know exactly what the court will do because obviously I'm not a court officer. Okay, so it's on your head. If you want to go into the court and start recording stuff, and then they then find you in contempt of court, that's entirely up to yourself, but that's what's going to happen. Okay, so what I would suggest, I obviously understand you've got points to make, that's fine, everybody's entitled to make points.
Do you realise
especially
that for 5
points of
years
law.
they've been
We've
suppressed?
just
No
explained
one.
now. I'm not going to get into a debate with you. We've just explained what the
So
court would
the
do.
court
We're
would
not
like
going
to
to
hear
debate with you, we're
your,
telling you
your
what's
case.
lawful.
Yeah.
And they will allow you into court, that's fine. If you start recording, chances are you're going to be found in contempt of court, and then whatever happens is up to the court, not up to us.
I
Okay?
understand.
So effectively, we'll stay.
We will say, of course, it is an unlawful court because it's not a court of record. It's not a common law court.
You can argue that with the magistrates then, okay? That's what we will
Yeah.
say. Okay? Well, myself and Phil will leave you now, all right? And you've got my name and
I
details.
have, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I don't shake anybody's
No.
hand, unfortunately.
All right.
Okay.
You're meant to be impartial.
All right.
I'll give us a point issue.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Under both previous and subsequent common law precedent, also notice of both requirements and charges thereto. So if you could take that, please.
Yeah, it's not a problem. We don't have to join us together, just we're in the same car together.
And like we say, we are actually on your side, but we're trying to expose the
Yeah, that
corruption
sounds
and the
like
fraud
the easiest plan. Thank you very
are
much.
rampant. They're
In the
absolutely.
force?
No, not in the force,
What,
but the
sorry?
force is kind of upholding criminals now,
Okay.
rather than being what
Yeah,
they're
do you want
So
to...
this
sworn
is
to do is
information about it.
serve the public, but they're not doing that now. They're serving corporations and laws which aren't really laws. Statutory instruments are not the law of the land.
The lawyer from the Boston District Council contacted me and just said you've got to obey statute law, and that is not true. Because juries can nullify any form of statute law, and the law of the land in this country is jury trial common law jurisdiction.
I appreciate
it has
that,
been
sir.
since Magna
Obviously,
Carta.
that's for the courtrooms to decide, it's not for us. We're just here to make sure there's no breaches of peace. And
But you're supposed to be public servants
yeah, we do
and
uphold the law.
serve the public.
Yeah, well, that's
But
what
the
we
real
do.
law
I appreciate that, obviously, but this is all to do with your court case. I'm not going to be able to solve it for you, am I? So it's something for the courts to be able to solve.
Well, together we're all going to solve this. We're all going to have to solve this because everyone has a responsibility.
They're, yeah.
I'm not sure why you'd like me to have a copy of this, sir. So
Well, I've delivered you notice of it, so I mean, take it home and read it, and have it, have a think of it, pin it up.
Please have a think about why it is what we're doing.
Because,
You know,
there
we're
are
not
loads of
against
other
you
people
guys.
now
no, I know you're not.
who get this. And people refer to jury trials, required jury trials under Section 39. It's all in there. It's at the back. The actual sections are in there. When the government of the day is getting out of hand, so that you can be tried by your peers and not by the government. That's the whole point of our legal system, and that is our great protection against
As citizens.
governments becoming tyrannous. In this case, they use fraud to fraud our elections, then they engage us in illegal wars, etc., etc. They then extort us, and everything subsequent to them frauding the elections. The law of the land is very, very simple. There are about 16 things that you can do wrong. You can murder, you can manslaughter, you can previous bodily harm, actual bodily harm, assault, harassment, breach of the peace, fraud, extortion, robbery, theft, criminal damage, and in the neglect area, recklessness, carelessness and dangerousness, and breach of contract. Those are the things that are unlawful. And I've been summoned today and I haven't done any of those things.
So,
they've got their little regulations.
I totally appreciate where you're coming from and what you're saying, but that's not for us to decide. That's for the court. So what I would suggest is obviously save your arguments if you like, or your
For the court.
your points for the court. So yeah, because obviously this isn't the correct forum to be hearing it. There's people that are here for other matters and they don't really want to listen to it.
It affects all of us, though.
I know, but if they don't want to listen to it, and then they deem that you're causing them harassment, alarm, or distress, then you're committing other offences, aren't you? So what I would suggest is to just keep it for the court and let the court.
They've been harassing me. They're harassing me with oh yeah, because they falsely summons me. They've summoned me according to a statute. I haven't actually committed any crime.
Again,
Because
so
I
it has
haven't,
nothing to do with me. So
I haven't entered into any contract with the Cotswold District Council to pay their local tax, and there's a connection between representation and taxation.
Don't think you're going to have any luck.
Record our own cases. We're allowed to record any public case. We're allowed to record in any public area because no jury has ever condemned it. Therefore, it's lawful.
So just because juries haven't condemned things doesn't make it lawful. Okay.
To show that it's unlawful, you have to show, they have to show that
I'm not going to get
a
into an
jury
argument of
has
law with you. So this is a
condemned
Crown building. This is owned by the Crown. And whatever laws they choose to impose onto the people going into their building is up to them. Or if they don't, no, listen to me, sir, because I've listened to what you've been saying. Okay. If they don't want you to go in there with recording equipment, and they will find you in contempt of court if you do, that's the rules of their court, okay? You're going on about how there's all the rules that you're trying to uphold, and the rules that you're being upheld to you don't agree with for X, Y, and Z reasons, fine. But the reasons of this court, and the rules of this court are imposable. If you go in with these devices and record the court, you will be found in contempt of court. I don't know what will happen to you. So what I would suggest, if you want to clear this council tax thing here, now and today...
No, I'm withholding because they're a criminal construct.
So you're not going to go into the court?
I'm absolutely aware. I'm going to go into the court.
But if you go into the court, these two people, if they take the devices with them, will not be allowed in, okay? So you
Well,
can
are you
go
going
in
to
there,
use force to stop them taking their recording in?
You will not be allowed.
you just won't be allowed in.
Well,
will not be allowed in the court.
we will attempt to go in. If you force us, stop us going in, then you are stopping us actually being going into court and responding to the summons. So, I mean, that's up to you to do that. But I advise you to let us go in, recording, and then let's see what the magistrates actually have to say.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Muttering in corners, everything we say in public. We've got nothing to hide. It's all sneaking off into little dark corners. Doesn't want to say things in public. Have a little word in the ear. This is what this lot do. They don't like anything being recorded. Wonder why.
Criminals don't like being watched.
It's just observation that actually makes people behave lawfully.
Which court are they going into? This one here?
We have a right to...
Can I just say one more time? You're the person in court.
We're not bearing arms, we're just recording our own case.
Can I just say, you're the person in court. The two people that are with you who are recording, if they want to accompany you into court, they will have to hand over their recording devices to our security, which will be locked up. Otherwise,
We're not going to hand over our recording devices. We're going to use... we lawfully can record our own cases. No jury has ever condemned anyone for recording their own case, particularly if they found out that the magistrates suppress their own staff from verbatim recording their own cases so that they can carry out all sorts of stuff off the record. And that's how magistrates work, and that is unlawful. And the only lawful courts are common law courts, and all common law courts are courts of of record where there is a verbatim record.
Let me I understand what you're saying, but let me just put it one more time. This is the last time. If your people that are with you, your colleagues, do not hand over their recording equipment, they will not be allowed in the court.
What law says
I'm just
that?
telling you this is the law.
Well,
This is what...
you can't just do things because you're telling us.
Well, right.
You've got to actually quote law.
And uphold it.
Law. Case,
We're gonna
case
go into-
law.
we're gonna
You
go
give
in-
me a common law case where a jury
We're going to
has
go into
condemned
court in a
people.
moment. We're going to go into court in a moment.
So,
Right. Just before we go in, are you going to hand over your recording equipment?
no, sir, I'm not.
You're not.
No.
Then you are not allowed to come into the court.
I'm serving you with a notice of treason and harassment under Section 39 of Magna 40 of Magna Carta. The sections attached also under both previous and subsequent common law precedents. Also notice
Just
of
before
both
you go any
requirements
further,
and charges thereto.
Please do that in the court, so it can be all be recorded.
That is
All right. Come this way then, please.
Yourself, sir.
You're not allowed
ladies
to know
allowed
that,
in.
I'm afraid.
Come this way, Mr. Steele.
Are you forcibly stopping me entering?
I'm just
public
standing here,
place?
sir.
This is
That's
my
fine.
witness.
I'm just
Your
standing here,
witness- Your
sir.
witness isn't allowed in, but we've spoken to them.
Well, this is lawful. We've told you this is lawful.
Just excuse
You're
me.
preventing us.
Have you handed over your recording equipment? You have. Would you like to come through then, please?
You can go through them.
You can come through.
Yeah, you can follow through.
You're allowed through if you...
Yeah. Yes, no, that's with Sandy, yeah.
I'm going to go
Yes.
in with my witnesses, and what we're doing is lawful.
If they hand over their recording equipment, sir, there's not an issue.
No, we're not going to hand over our recording because that's the whole point of this thing, is to impose their statutory instruments.
That's fine.
It's okay, don't worry.
Right, well, you are preventing me attending court. No, you are preventing. Right, I've got the camera. You're still preventing. You're going to prevent me.
There is a plentiful gap there, sir, if you'd like to...
You're going to allow me to go into court?
Not with a recording equipment.
Well,
sir.
there we are. You are preventing me going.
It is
You're not
recording.
allowed to go in with recording
You've prevented me
equipment, sir.
going into court. You've prevented
haven't,
me.
sir.
Yes, you
There's a gap
have.
there.
You've prevented me going into
You can
court.
try, sir.
Wait
Right.
there a moment. Wait there. Just wait there a moment. Can you just stand there a moment?
It's recording, Sandy.
Let me just tell you the way it is at the moment. If you do not put that camera down now, this court case will be suspended.
Suspended. What's that? I've been summoned. That's harassment. They've
You are
summoned
not-
me.
You are not obeying the rules of the court by coming into court with a camera in your hand.
It's nothing to do with
As-
rules. It's to do with whether something's lawful or not. They are actually acting unlawfully.
Right. The last time, sir, I'm going to ask you, are you going to put the camera down and come into court to hear your case?
The
I'm
magistrate,
asking you the
you are
last time.
preventing me from responding to a summons. I am acting lawfully. I'm allowed to record my own case.
Right,
No
so
jury
this-
has ever condemned
can I just
anyone
ask-
for recording
so-
their own case.
so I will
Particularly if they found out that the magistrates were suppressing the staff to
Right.
record the case.
Sir, can I
So
ask
that
you
they
one
can
last
impose
time?
their
One last
statutes.
time, sir.
So that they can deny people requiring jury trial common law jurisdiction.
Sir, I've let you have your say. Please listen for the last time. This is the question.
You haven't been
Are
listening.
you willing to put down the camera, recording equipment, and come into court? If the answer is no to that, then the case will be suspended.
The case, I have a lawful right to record my own, any form of case. I have a lawful right to record in any public place.
Right. Let me just report back to the court on your...
I'm sure they'd be happy with you if you wanted to write it down verbatim, sir.
I have got all this down in writing. They've had it before the case. No, it's all right. So, no, do hold it.
You can go into court now if you want, sir.
I'm not going to go to court without my witnesses and a record, it being on the record, because basically every common law court is a court of record with someone recording it verbatim. In here, they're suppressing records so that they can then... Yeah.
Right, what I'd like you to do is come now and stand at the back of the court there. They want to speak to you. But
I'm allowed in now because I don't have any recording equipment.
right. Would you two like to go in?
No, not without me. Right. Well, unless you want to... I'm going in with recording equipment, okay?
this is
You'll be found in contempt of court, sir.
Well, no,
It's up to you.
this is actually.
Fine. If
I'm
that's
being
what he
lawful.
wants to do, and he wants to be found in contempt of court, fine, doesn't bother me.
Is that the way you would like to do? You want to go into court with the camera?
Yeah.
Would you like to go and take a seat and then I'll take the
No.
We're following.
Yeah, we're going in together.
We're going in together. All right. Would you come in as well?
Yeah, of course you will. After you, sir.
Mark?
Mr. Steele. Mr. Steele?
My name's Mr. Steele.
Is that camera on?
If you wouldn't
It
mind
is on.
going further in so that we can close the doors, please.
That is contempt of court, and you can be arrested and it does
You are not a court of law. A court of law would be a common law court, which would be a court of record.
We are.
You are not a court of record.
This is a magistrate's court, which is a court of law.
It is
If you
not a
wish
court of
to
record.
come
I
in-
require to be tried by jury trial, common law jurisdiction, a court of record, according to Magna Carta, section 39 and section 40, and according to previous and subsequent precedent.
Well, that is.
And I require to be in a case which is a court of record, which of course every common law court is.
Well, Mr. Steele, if you don't recognise this court as a court of law, then I'll assume that you don't want to participate, so I'll ask you to leave.
Are you acting on your oaths
Do
today?
you not recognise this court?
Are you acting on your oaths
Do you
today?
not recognise
Are you acting on your oaths today?
Yes. Do you not recognise your court?
You're both on your oath of allegiance and your oath, your magistrates, your judicial oath.
If we all leave now,
Are you acting
Sir,
on
sir.
your magistrate?
Can he serve
Are
his
you?
notices?
Please leave.
It's
not up to me,
Please
is it?
leave.
Please, could he serve
You
his
are telling me to leave. Right.
so you've
okay?
you've already
Do you
said
mind-
you
do you
don't
mind if
agree
we
with this
serve-
court, so therefore it'll have to go to a
Right.
different one.
I'm
won't it?
serving notices on you. I'm serving notice of treason and harassment under section 39 and 40 of Magna Carta 1215, sections attached, also under both previous and subsequent common law precedents, also notice of both requirements and charges there too. May I go forward to the court and deliver them? You're going to prevent me. You're going to prevent me from going and delivering these notices. I'm delivering. Don't notice. That's assault. I want to deliver notices. I want to deliver notices. It's lawful to do.
That you leave.
You do not have lawful. You do not have jurisdiction here. You do not have jurisdiction here. I've required common law jurisdiction. You are fleeing because I'm recording. That's the point.
We will leave some notices at the back of the room.
You can happily leave your notices,
They-
that's fine by me.
We're serving you with
What
these
are
notices.
I require to know what names?
We don't want to be
Leave them on
suppressed
that desk.
anymore.
It's fine, leave them on that desk, and then I'm sure...
Well, I'm going to go through and find out where he is. I'm delivering a notice. You're assaulting me. You're assaulting me.
No, you're not.
You're assaulting me. Don't stop assaulting me. Stop assaulting me.
Right, no.
Stop assaulting me. Stop assaulting me. I'm delivering a notice.